Welcome back to the analysis desk, ready to chat a little bit about that first map. Thorin was getting angsty, just wanted to get in there and talk about this game, so NIP really brought it this time. We've seen a reinvigorated NIP today.
I mean, Get Right throughout their last few tournaments, even though they haven't won them, has been by far one of their best players. Him and Allu have been carrying the load pretty much, and in this map, this was unreal. This wasn't, I wouldn't even say it's a classic Get Right, because Get Right used to do most of the work on the CT side, but this was like, this is the sort of performance you'd expect from Forest, actually. Just tons of kills on T side, tons of kills with the rifle, and VP could do nothing about it. And so it made VP look silly on their CT side, and usually their CT side's strong on this map. Yeah,
I thought, did you feel like NIP were doing like these perfect executions almost of the bomb sites? Like, that's what it felt like when we were watching it.
The thing is, the NIP style on T-side has never been to have, like, really intricate tactics and, like, the timing of this flash and this smoke and everyone knows where to look. They are more like the default style team, but what their key thing is, when they find something that works, they just drill it in and they'll keep doing it over and over and over again. And that's what they built kind of the original dynasty off. And it still works to a degree now. You see a lot of teams doing that pug style, and that's what they try to go back to. Now, that can get them in trouble when they're in a game where nothing is working, because then they're trying to force the same things over and over. But in this game, the formula was working. Get Right was on fire. I mean, they just rode it to pretty much a victory after the first half. It was going to be very difficult to throw that away.
Yeah. Dan, would you say it does seem like Get Right has had his Weetabix this morning?
Absolutely. I mean, it looks really, really good, actually. Again, as Thorin mentioned, you wouldn't necessarily expect all those fracks from him on the T side, but that's where they were able to get themselves in like a ridiculous, economically superior situation. And that, but just couldn't recover from that because they were already struggling to play their game. And we saw them having rounds where they had to adjust and say, okay, we don't even have grenades to work with, and we need to win these rounds. We have to play aggressively to try to get ahead of this, to try to even out somehow. And that couldn't work either because NIP are actually on their shots today, which is a refreshing thing to see after their match against Fnatic, which the thing about that Fnatic game was that it was actually really awesome to watch. If you just look at like the decision making from the teams, it's like there's awesome decision making, very slow, but then Fnatic hit all the shots and it's like doesn't matter almost. So here we actually see NIP, you know, they're revved up, ready to go, and generally speaking, I'm a little bit afraid for Virtus Pro. If not for Overpass, could get really tricky for them in this series now.
Sadikis, would you agree? How are VP's mindset going to be?
I mean, VP's been together forever. They're one of the most composed teams around. They'll shake that off quite quickly. But the bigger thing for me, again, does come down to what Dan was saying. The shots are being hit by NIP. And if the shots are hit, even if the map is favorsome to their playstyle, VP's playstyle, it still becomes closer than perhaps comfortable. So they definitely need to get their aim on. It's not so much a mental game. It's just a matter of hitting for them, getting their skill rolling, get everything going, firing on all cylinders, whether it's waking up, I don't know what it is, but they definitely need to be alive. And I mean, there was a lot of rounds that weren't even close. It seemed like they should have been. In fact, Get Right, usually there's a couple rounds when he's usually late, has to close them out. He closed a lot of rounds. Sure, obviously he had a lot of frags, but most times he had someone else alive with him, which, I mean, VP weren't even getting close enough to bring it down to, you know, the one-on-one situations. It was fairly one-sided all the way around.
Is there anything you feel like VP can improve, or is it just literally they're getting overrun by NIP?
I mean that Inferno match, because of the fragging that was going on from NIP, they actually put VP in this position where they couldn't make mistakes. There's like a couple of key rounds where they just couldn't make mistakes, and there were mistakes from VP. The small mistakes, NIP was super on their game and just capitalized straight away. Like there was this round with NEO where they played 4 players towards A. Virtus Pro had basically the best setup for that round, but the way that it's supposed to work is that NEO's only supposed to spot, but there was basically an instant kill on him when there was a peek, when he spotted the first player coming. So he didn't even get a chance to react, run away and throw the smoke down for the play to actually work. And then they just run over Virtus Pro. And then there's another round where we saw Forest kind of red as the lurker player. And it was another one round for VP, but that small mistake, and they rotated to B, misread the round, and then that cost them. Those 2 rounds had huge impacts for NIP's economy and their overall score. So Virtus Pro, they just didn't get many chances in that one.
So the next map is VP's pick of Overpass. How do we expect this one to go?
I mean, this is ideal for VP because if after the first map nothing went right, even on a map you're usually good on, now you're playing a map where NIP auto-vetoes it in every single tournament this year. This is the map they instantly veto, but because of this new wrinkle being thrown in of NIP recently having some big losses on Cobblestone, and VP is known as one of the stronger teams on Cobblestone, I think NIP just didn't want to gamble on that at all. So they've actually vetoed that, and now VP's kind of chosen the wild card. If they're going to gamble, we're actually going to play Overpass then and force you to play it. So I think it's very bad for NIP. I think it's great for VP to pick themselves back up now.
The other aspect of that is now that teams are picking up the GSL ban one, then pick one format, Overpass likely would have been a second ban from NIP, but because of the system that's being run here, it does give VP the chance to pick it up. So even in tournaments gone by, even if they banned out Cobble first, that likely still would have been Overpass next. So I mean, this is why I like this style of system where you can pick a map right away, because then it's the lesser of two evils is all that's left. So yeah.
Okay, we're going straight into the game. You guys take it away.
All right, so first things first. Oh,
we can't do it anymore.
Oh, we're into the pistol. Oh dear, we have to do that afterwards.
We'll do it at halftime.
I was ready to strike.
I dropped the ball. I was late. But pistol underway, like you said, and it is going to be NIP starting out on T side. Get right already with a Tech 9 up, and up close and personal with the sewage pipes. See if you can find anyone waiting on the other side, but look how passive they are. They're all the way back on catwalk. They'll let them walk at least toward the site. We saw actually Na'Vi yesterday get in deep, well, not even that deep, but get into the site, smoke it off in a similar situation, get the bomb down, but they had no post-plant situation, and they actually ended up losing to a defuse against TSM.
And we're almost a minute into this without any real engagements at all from either side here, so super slow play. NIP just clearing out pretty much as much of the map as they can, being really safe. Virtus Pro have an amazing CT half on this map. They love to get really aggressive, and there's no other team that gets aggressive quite like they do. And we're going to see NIP moving in now. Now, what can they get done as they charge onto the B-bomb site? It's looking quite good at the moment, but still no frags ready to happen, so this is kind of nuts. The bomb's going to go down.
And no smokes to hold them out either.
There was the first frag. So we're going to have to see now if Virtus Pro can get this retake happening. They're all over the bomb site. It's actually not looking too bad. They've just got to connect the shots. Pasha's going to find himself Xizt. He's got the second one. What a flick shot there from Pasha. And it looks pretty good here. The defuse comes in and they wipe them out. They've completely cleaned the floor with NIP. That's how you want to start map number 2.
Exact same situation to TSM Na'Vi yesterday. They might have got in and got the bomb down, but they didn't have any post-plant set up whatsoever. And VP just came in, pushed them back themselves. And by getting those first couple frags, all they have to do is hold out the rest of the players. They had a kit. That guy gets on the defuse. There's no way you're going to fight through 3 players to get to the diffuser. The round's already lost, whether or not those kills come or not.
Yeah, the beef retakes on this map are really interesting, but we're into the Tech 9 armor buy with loads of grenades, so NIP, after getting the bomb down, they're going to go for a full buy. They're not going to wait that one round and then go for the buy. They want to get the weapons down from Virtus Pro straight away and even just win the round. So full investment here from NIP. Now, they've got Connector and Virtus Pro playing somewhat passively, so they are definitely wary that they could see something quite crazy here.
Smoke's still off. On the sewage passages, Pasha will check out toward long. A little bit more passive, they'll fall back. They don't want to lose the guns out deep and drop them over to the T side. Look at Snax just waiting for that crossfire position with the P90. Pasha's going to join him in behind the truck. Smoke will go off. That's a little bit deep, though. So it covers off the backside, but look at the positioning from Virtus Pro. They're already forward at both of those. Lots of flashes going out. One counter now from VP as well as the nade, but Get Right's already found the first kill. That's Snax down, and Pasha's got to hold strong here because the rotations are still coming around from the stairwells. First one goes the way of VP. Company has joined him, as we just saw beside, as Tech 9 comes back out, but Friberg found Neo, and Pasha only gets 2 more before he goes down as well. This gets close, but Get Right, only 5 HP. Couldn't do much more. Close round, though. They actually made that pretty interesting on the entry.
Yeah, and they could have even have gotten the bomb down realistically too, so you can see why NIP went for a buy like that. It's so powerful once you get onto the site. Pasha, to be honest, held like a hero there. His teammate playing A long went down immediately, and all of a sudden he had that 2 angles to worry about, and it was really chaotic. You could see how he's just darting around with his mouse like crazy, but he still managed to get the 2 key kills.
And actually, yesterday, for the first time, nice push here coming out from Snax. For the first time I've ever heard anyone say it, although I don't disagree perhaps with Flaren. He said this map's actually become a lot more T-sided. In fact, if not completely T-sided with the A bomb site the way it is, it's just so easy to get in and get those bombs down.
Yeah, it's really open actually. The Virtus Pro though, again, they take so many aggressions. And, you know, we already talked about how NIP kind of tried to avoid this map. Virtus Pro, with that really strong Cobble, are definitely really having a very nice situation on those vetoes. They just generally have a strong selection of maps these days. This should be pretty interesting, because I don't know if NIP are going to be used to that new style from Virtus Pro. Either way, it's going to be a quick cleanup from them. Byali with 3 kills on that SMG, so it pays itself back. Very well, indeed. 1,800 bucks. It's like more than a knife kill. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, he almost got caught on the 3rd one, but good reactions.
No AWP here for Pasha actually, and he wants to play it cost efficiently, just stick with the P90. So that's actually kind of a bit risky. But Pasha is really, really awesome with the AWP, especially towards the A side.
He could have afforded it if he hadn't invested into the nades. It's going to be 5 AKs though out for NIP, so we do get our first proper gun round. As Forrest looks for an entry onto the B site, Bomb is very passively waiting toward the T spawn, waiting for the call from NIP. They're not even selling anyone over at A, and the rotations from A to B are very fast, so it might be worth it to get someone back on that side, but if they keep getting the kills like this, it won't matter. Friberg's got the second entry. He comes in from the lower side of the site as TaZ, waiting in behind the smoke, tries to use it to his advantage to find just one NIP player, gets cancelled by Xizt in the end. And here's Pasha coming in the backside, P90 in hand. What can he possibly do with it?
Well, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Virtus Pro, they haven't even killed anyone for NIP, and they really need to make sure they don't get into that position again where they just get completely money screwed over and over again. But NIP, I'm curious how they're going to keep playing their T side. Are they going to? Do they have any executes actually? Because there's lots of course, you can draw some comparison between this map and Cobble. On this map, you can get a little bit more aggressive on the B side of the map, but on Cobble, of course, it's like okay, one side is like you just hold it as CT, like the B bomb site here, generally speaking, and then the other side of the map, the A side, like this map, you can push loads as the CT. So there are some crossovers.
That's actually probably the most similar comparison. I've never thought of this, but it also is a long rotation for the T side to go site to site.
Yep.
The only difference from Cobble is that if you get into drop as a T-sided player, you can cut off the rotations. It's extremely hard to cut off rotations on this map, so it still does give the CTs a bit more to work with. Again,
yeah.
A to B fast, B to A a little bit slower. You got to climb up all those stairs. Gravity doesn't work in that favor.
Oh, here we go. AWP from Pasha. Now this can be super key here. He's very, very strong again at holding towards the A side of the map. But NIP will realize this and use scouting towards monster tunnels. So this is if NIP were running AWPs of their own, this would be dangerous, but they're not.
And Nip's also playing very, very passively on that side of the map, on that A side. And a lot of teams do get aggressive, so they don't actually want to take the fight. They just want to be able to keep everyone alive and get those entries, which we saw them do in the first gun round to complete success.
Yeah, and I would actually have expected, if Virtus Pro had more money, for them to actually play much further down into the toilets with Pasha, maybe towards the kind of party area, or even deeper down on A long. But because they don't have much money, they don't really have hugely favorable engagements. You can see Snax is trying to just be really sneaky, trying to use Pasha as a bit of bait, so that T's can then get taken out quite quickly for Virtus Pro. But generally speaking, NIP, they've got pretty much all the map control they need, and we can see that the execute is building into the B bomb site slowly but surely, with the nades and the bomb making its way in.
Around the corner they'll go onto the pipe. Pasha's up in the window trying to get over top of this smoke on sandbags, but no one's come through that angle just yet. Snax, meanwhile, does hold out allu, and Pasha patiently waits, does connect. No, doesn't actually get that shot. Thought for sure he would hit that, so Xizt gets in position down below as the bomb gets placed by Get Right. Pasha needs to hit this shot, not able to do that either. So 2 misses, and the round turns back the way of NIP. As Snax goes down, it's all left to Neo. Does have the op and just wants to get one here. Maybe if he can possibly get Friberg quick enough, he might have a chance, but it's not going to happen. Friberg just spots him up and fires through the plywood.
So that's another round won by NIP. The previous one, they didn't lose anyone. This round, they only lost 2 guys, so you can see that their money's building up like crazy. And they can just get the AWP onto Ali now if they really want to, but they don't have to. They're going to be up against pistols here, and they know that. Ali's going to buy it anyway. And when Virtus Pro are going to be on the AWP themselves, Ali could cause some really big problems, because if he's going to be winning duels towards Monster, there's some risky peaks that a lot of CT sides like to take, even though the economy would be bad for Virtus Pro here. I wouldn't expect them to do that, but you never know. Sometimes teams just want to take risks, and NIP looks set up well here, and I don't expect this to be a repeat of Inferno, but Virtus Pro, they need to find a way to deal with this.
NIP again, accuracy reigning supreme. Forrest able to collect Pasha. Saw Snax try to get aggressive. I don't think he expected his smoke to have no bounce. It collected the stairwell before the wall, so there was a gap. He wanted to get up close and potentially push through that or dodge out a flash. Nice ball on top, forces byali up. Nip's just completely reading VP right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised a little bit that VP didn't run one of their more awesome kind of eco strats where they just get like a couple flashes and then just like rushes 5 down party, because there's that angle towards party into the T spawn side of the map. You actually can fit 5 players there. So with the flashes going over the top, you're facing like 5 versus 1 potentially straight away. So it's actually kind of unique in that sense. And Virtus Pro showed that recently in some online matches. And again, they need to get the aggression going. If they can play aggressively in their style, then they can really swing things back into their favor. But their money, again, is causing them issues here. Neo in connector. He's got to come huge here, but he gets nothing. Only some damage there onto Forest. And NIP once again, early advantage for them.
Man, so much closer than I think he expected and anticipated. Not to mention they had more than one there, even if he found the first kill. So that was not an ideal situation at all for Snax, or pardon me, for Neo to be in. As Snax is the man we see inside bathroom, who now has to play a little bit more passively. Does spot up Friberg crossing, but he also fired away, and that gives away his position. Friberg actually puts some damage back into him. Needs to be careful. Does have support on the outside. It's pasha who does get Xizt, but now he has to turn back, and Friberg's completely aware. Double for him as he fell back, and based on the call of Xizt, gets the both, and now they're going to walk into A.
Looking really strong here indeed for NIP. Up onto the A-bomb side, going to fake out the plant there, but there you go, TaZ picks up another kill. Bomb will go down regardless as we enter the 2-on-2. And comes Forest, he's going to get taken down by TaZ, and Allu's alone now with the AWP. This round for Virtus Pro, so key. Oh wow, what a miss there from Allu. Bieli's going to capitalize, picks up the kill, and Virtus Pro win the round. With 2 players left alive too, so that's not too bad actually. And you got to hand it to TaZ actually. Had TaZ not held down the Suez position, then I think Virtus Pro's defense kind of would have collapsed in on itself, because they would have basically never known where the hell NIP were going with that push, because but because TaZ was holding on to Suez, they could make some good deductions and really figure out where to position players. And of course, winning the duels is always good, but can they keep it going? Because if they lose this one, then they get reset, and NIP get a lot of momentum. So it's not over yet here for Virtus Pro. Good pre-nades coming in there from Virtus Pro to the late Get Right, who is trying to get himself up Monster. Looks like they want to actually get in for a B split here. Get Right moving past the smoke, so they're going to actually expect this. He's in front of the smoke. This could be really surprising. Flash goes over the top there. Get Right gets the spray down onto Bieli, but he's got no support here. His teammates are getting stuck in the choke points, and Virtus Pro are holding on.
And the questionable part of that was, how did they not trade on Get Right? They had 2 players in position, but Neo didn't take the peek. He was so hyper-focused on the sandbags, but no one came through. And NIP now fall back. They do get pasha's shot from over top a window, and Virtus Pro claw back as they Get Right as well. There it is. Allu does go down, so they do hold strong in the end, but they could have traded on Get Right a lot sooner there.
Yeah, that was really scary. Like that position he got into ahead of the grenades, they had no idea he was in that kind of a spot, and that could have completely blown up the round, but somehow Virtus Pro managed to hold on to shorts with the grenades and getting the kills, and that's what enabled them to actually survive in that situation. But it was very scary. But now this is what I wanted to see from Virtus Pro. Now they're getting aggressive with the full buy, full nades, interconnected 2 players, spray down from Friberg. Sorry, is going to be absolutely perfect as usual.
They're losing that battle every time they go to the stairwell. It might be more beneficial. I know they're trying to split the offense entirely, but it might be more beneficial to just get out toward long A and funnel them, and then play it more passively, because that's twice we've seen Neo take that peek and lose.
Yeah, and you know that NIP are expecting it too, so they've definitely done a little bit of homework here against Virtus Pro. Very slow stuff. They're basically in T-spawn still, and they're
just waiting for over-aggression. Yeah, I mean, if with 1 down, another player gets aggressive to get that pick, that pretty much secures at least an entry and potentially a plant, barring any individual play.
Yeah, they have the advantage. I mean, they want Virtus Pro to essentially say, hey, we need to even things up here. How can we do that? Okay, let's try this peak, let's try this like hot flash setup. And well, they're not going to do that. They will hold strong so far, but in comes the push, and this is where things could get tricky. Yeah,
Biali's in a really good position. Wow. They line up for him. He gets 2. Get Right and Friberg go down, as TaZ also collects Allu. So just like that, they hold strong. Bieli pops back up, make it 4 for him. Pardon me, 3 for him. Potentially 4, as Xizt does come back around from construction, and he's all that's left. What a good hold from VP that time.
I couldn't even see them, and Bieli just instantly takes them both down. That is quite crazy. What an angle to play with. Xizt, though, 3 players peeking at once. He will get taken down, and Virtus Pro 6-3. I mean, they have subverted so many really scary situations where they're just dancing on the razor's edge here, where their economy is incredibly fragile. It's still quite fragile, to be honest. There's only 3 players who have over 4K and over. So Virtus Pro still have a lot of work to do, and NIP still with a buy as well, so they could keep causing problems here for Virtus Pro. Are they going to go for a fast execute? There's a lot of them towards B at the moment. Bieli is going to be going for the wide peak on Monster and spots 1, so The pre-nades will stop any immediate push or rush from NIP, but they are knocking at the door of the B-bomb site here.
Byali's positioning that time was a little more aggressive, but that backside slope where he got that double from is very strong because it's a headshot angle that you can fall off so quickly. Whereas Nip, you pretty much have to strafe back out. It's a little slower to escape when you're into trouble. And Get Right tries to fire over, does a massive amount of damage onto Neo, but countered immediately. Byali back over the top, and here he is, back in that same spot. Flash this time will force him off it, so he doesn't have the direct angle on entry, and as a result, Friberg does get TaZ. Neo goes back, though, and are they done? No, Byali's not even close to getting started. Already 2 for him, and it's down to just Xizt. He does push through the smoke, does catch Neo, does catch Byali, makes it a little bit interesting in the end, but pasha, never to be feared.
If it weren't for Byali, they would be pretty out of this game, to be honest, because they keep taking the pushes towards B. And that's actually surprising in some senses, because
we talked about how A's become a lot more viable.
Exactly as you said. Like, you see a lot more A plays, generally speaking. So it's interesting that NIP are going towards B so much. Either way, Virtus.pro, they are finally kind of... Well, they may expect an eco, but actually there's Tech 9 armor still. So NIP always able to find the buys. They had so much bank that they could keep... They kept losing, and they could keep buying, and now they've got enough bonus to just keep buying anyway. So this is really scary still. But 7 rounds for Virtus.pro, so they're holding on well on the CT half. But here it is, a big surge of terrors moving towards that the A bomb site. But pasha's here with the AWP.
pasha is here indeed, but he's playing an aggressive angle. Oh, he almost gets caught right there as TaZ does go down. Or probably Snax does go down. TaZ got the first one. I thought that was going to be a trade, but it was Snax that actually drops on the backside. This gives pasha a really hard time as they come from all angles, and the Tech 9's too strong that time. Forced in. They plant the bomb deep on the truck. Again, you can plant on the front side of those boxes, and that's a much better plant to secure post positions. Instead, they go all the way through, and Neo on the backside. This gets uncomfortable for Nip. They've got to hold strong. It's only Forrest to do it. Forrest
with that bomb taking away gets one shot, but it's not going to connect, and that is going to be the end of him. He burns down. I think actually, you can see pasha had a little bit of trouble there. I'm not sure if he quit the client after that death or what happened exactly, whether there was like a bug, I don't know, but we're going to have to get him back in the game, of course. And he was obviously very frustrated there. I'm not sure whether it's his own play, but I did notice that he was moving around a lot as the push was coming in. Like, he wasn't, he was like very indecisive of the position he wanted to defend. And, it was a moment where they were pushing in, so you can't do that with an AWP. You got to be taking the shots. So pasha there going to get himself back into the match. And yeah, that looked really stressful for him. He threw down his headset, and well, we'll have to see if they can keep things going here. But it's looking like they're able to hold on pretty well so far.
Yeah, indeed. I was interesting because they're playing very aggressively with that AWP to get that shot. Obviously, it is a bit of a clustered angle. If you want to peek long, you can peek to the flower pot quite easily without exposing yourself to the front side of the bathrooms. If you want to peek the wall, if they get around that corner, then you do expose yourself. So you essentially have to fall off, give up long A at that point. He had support player, but when he tried to get over in front of the truck, he actually clipped the bumper, didn't get all the way around, and it slowed his movement. Like, I thought he was done right there.
It looked so awkward, didn't it? It looked like he really wasn't decisive at all of where he's going, and that's something you never see from a pro level player. So,
no, exactly.
So yeah, something must have been up there for pasha.
Yeah, and I think it was for Flaren yesterday. For Flaren, yeah, it was, who said pasha's movements are actually one of his biggest weaknesses. In fact, of all the pros, his movements are sometimes the most awkward. It's his aim that gets him through, and that was pretty evident right there. As like that jump just didn't get the strafe around there at all.
It's quite cool actually to mention that too, because especially with the changes to the AWP as they are, being really good with movement helps you out massively. Because if you just watch JW, for example, who's got impeccable movement, like really good movement. He's basically almost bunny hopping everywhere.
Yeah, and he's still the old school. He quick scopes after because he can jump so fast around the corner.
Yeah. Exactly, like he would just be, it's not a question of really peeking, he would jump, then scope and shoot, as you said, like the quick scope. So JW, obviously, the update didn't affect him as much as it did some AWPers. Oh, okay, we got
might as well do it now.
We get the spin going. We have an AWP! So
it's pretty good.
Speaking of AWPs.
I mean, you had like a 1 in, what is that, 6? You had a 1 in 5 chance.
Definitely.
I got a howl.
Yeah, you got the howl, man. You got the contraband in there, so that's pretty nice. So, guys, we are just waiting if you're joining us for...
Hey, can I be Canadian DDK now that I'm actually at the FACEIT studios?
Why not? I actually don't decide these things.
Okay, all right.
I'm not in, like, I don't have like a little headquarters, like a secret room where I'm like deciding all the names. It's a community. The community must name you.
I don't want to know what they're going to name me, but byali, or pardon me, pasha rather, is back in, and we are back underway. And we'll see if NiP pick up on this, the fact that they can get into A a little bit easier, because like we've mentioned, they've been going B over and over again. In fact, they don't even put... I thought originally, that they were playing passive on A because they didn't want to take these aggressive fights, as Forest does now. But maybe it's time to start opening that up. Maybe it's time to start exploiting the defense over on that side, as Snax is the next one to get aggressive. Smoke out, they won't be able to spot him just yet.
Yeah, it's actually one of the first rounds where we see a little bit of aggression from Virtus.pro. Again, quite uncharacteristic. And this is something that they probably read into NIP. They say, okay, you know what? They're really good at dealing with our aggression. We want to try to mix things up, not play as they expect us to play, and just rely on some other more defensive passive setups. And Snax is up close in the corner there, behind the toilets. Can he get anything done? No, Friberg moves forward, takes both Neo and Snax down. The pace is now fast towards the A bomb side. TaZ has to hold, but he gets nothing. Friberg with the kill, and it's down to byali on the rotation against an entire lineup of Swedes. It's not happening for byali, and the bomb is going to go down. So I have to say, this is the most interesting thing for me so far, is that Virtus.pro, after they got the money, the kinds of pushes I expected from them are not really happening. And these are the kind of pushes to kind of the balloons in the party area, and not necessarily like super hardcore pressure in connector, maybe some in sewers, but they've been going to connector and actually losing those duels, so and I find that uncharacteristic.
And that's the other point that I was making, though, about NiP in specific, is that they weren't taking the fight to party. They were playing really passive. In fact, they were back toward the playground, just making sure, like you said, it looks like they've done some reconnaissance and demo reviewing on VP, because they're just sitting back waiting for that aggression. It hasn't come, but at the same time, they aren't fully getting into the B site, so maybe they do need to take those fights. Whether it's VP to get aggressive or not, maybe NiP does have to step up on that A site just to hold them in place and keep VP, you know, at bay, because like you say, once they start rolling on this map, it's pretty scary on their CT side. Yeah,
and you can see that the economy is starting to get strained here for Virtus.pro. They didn't build up a huge amount of bank. They're down to 2 scouts, and they're going to try to use those scouts in the best way that they possibly can. You can see that Snax will boost up pasha, I believe. No, he's not actually boosting anyone. Yeah, he's just sitting there. Okay, well, it's going to be Neo who gets a headshot on to get right towards the monster tunnel. So Neo, who has actually for Virtus.pro been switching positions between A and B quite a lot. Seems like in the official games he's been on B recently. But here comes NIP, moving slowly up toilets. Now can they catch pasha or Snax off guard here?
This is a much different angle of approach from Virtus.pro, a lot more aggressive. We see TSM change. Oh, I think he got spotted. Not only that, he doesn't know there's a player in front of him. Oh! Oh my goodness, pasha nails the jump shot, and Snax is right there to bail him out on the up-close play. What an turn of events right now. Snax does finally go down. It's Xizt to bring the round back. This is strong individuality from everybody, but Xizt all that's left. He's going to get caught. pasha, man, that scout.
Man, that was like throwing a coin through like the eye of a needle or something at like 100 meters range. Like, I don't even know, it's like the 1 pixel that he got with that scout shot, and I actually thought that he managed to make the frag on the second player, but Snax just had his back. And that's crazy, because if Snax looks at his positioning, and obviously pasha had no idea he was there, how the hell is Snax covering that angle? Because pasha should know, pasha should be covering that angle. So that's kind of weird actually, but I guess they know about the blind spots. Either way, this is the aggression that we were thinking about, that party push coming in from Virtus.pro, but Snax is somewhat alone there. pasha was on the long range. He's going to be able to cover Snax, and these guys are working so well as a team on the A side of the map right now, and we'll have to see if NIP can recover here. They're down a man. They need to get some frags back. There it is, get right. Able to pick up one onto byali over towards the B bomb site, and that might actually encourage them to go B here, considering how well byali has been dealing with it.
Oh, he's still out at long, realizes he's getting double peaked, but still sticks around. With the rain of fire in the sky, that's his invitation to change it up. Good flash over top. Catches both. Get right still, though, pushes forward, front bathrooms. They're all grouping. And look at the rotation. 2 falling back from long, get back to the site. As well as Neo, who is on the stairwell. So it's going to be 3 at home when they get there. Pardon me, Neo's actually down below. I love the overlay on this. It's much like Nuke. It's hard to tell sometimes. So he's actually below in the window. I thought he was on the back stairs. And Get Right finds their entry. It's pasha to drop. Now it's up to Snax. Has to hold it. He's close on the front side of the truck. I've never seen... Did you just see that bounce? That Molotov just like shot backwards in the end when it eventually bounced over. But Snax does drop in the end. Coming around the corner, though. Neo with aggression gets 2. Bomb goes down. He knows the last player's up close, and it's a triple from him.
So sick. The funny thing with Neo is that sometimes you forget that Neo is like this huge beast man. Like he's so damn good at rifling, because he often plays more support roles, and it's, you know, the spotlight goes onto pasha or Snax on his retakes, or, you know, even byali sometimes, and Neo sometimes goes, you know, unnoticed. But that's a good reminder. Good reminder, that 3K there from him. Super fast. That's a 10-4 scoreline now for Virtus.pro. So great start on the CT half over after lots of sketchy rounds, and pasha's picked up the auto sniper. So things are good for Virtus.pro at the moment.
Neo's the one that gets aggressive this time toward the monster. Look at the smokes raining over. We did say VP had the advantage on this map if the shots were on, and they have been so far, as TaZ not only dodges the flash, turns around and shakes the hand of the devil beside him, takes him down, and it's all going VP's way. Forrest drops next. Get Right comes through, does manage to pick up one. Jumps back. That bullet would have hit him right there, and he's on red HP, but no less, it will end up at 11-4 for Virtus.pro this time, and much like Inferno, it's a one-sided first half.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting things here for me is that Virtus.pro decided not to go very aggressive in a lot of these rounds. Again, against a lot of teams, they have a very good aggressive style. Against NIP, they probably said, okay, NIP either expect this or they're good at dealing with it, and we don't want to give that to them. We believe in our setups on the site instead. And it also could be partly due to the fact that they may think that NIP don't have great executes on the sites, so that could also be it. And with NIP going B so much, and byali just being on top of his game, Virtus.pro slowly but surely were able to gain advantage after advantage. In that round, the last one, we saw two players pushing A long for Virtus.pro, and so they knew that the push was coming. But they didn't really do those kinds of plays. They were so passive, and it was very unexpected from me.
Well, again, the times that they did go connector, Nip was waiting and caught them off, so it might have just been an adjustment. Either way, they've got a substantial lead, and let's not forget yesterday it was their T side that they came back against TSM with. And they're so good, and they are a team that utilize A. They take full advantage of the site changes, and they will get into there and get the bomb down, barring any... I mean, Nip, if they get really aggressive, then there's a chance they can shut them down before they get there. But if they get passive on that A site, VP will get in and get bomb plants. Get Right opens up the pistol round this time. As allu falls, has to because of the flash, and there you go. Site's given up, smoke's already out. TaZ finds Friberg on the other side, the adjacent stairs, so the bomb's already in position, and TaZ isn't done. He's a man on a mission right now. 3 for him in the round, and Forrest, although he's on the backside, already spotted by byali, just leaves Get Right left.
Yeah, and they actually found out that this push was coming pretty quickly, but it's not going to matter. Virtus.pro pick up the pistol, and we could see basically Virtus.pro doing to NIP what NIP did to Virtus.pro and Inferno. And the cool thing there was that from NIP is that on their open, they actually charged it into sewers, took it over super fast. Get Right went straight through the tunnel into Monster, and then found that there's no one there. So they eliminated the possibility that it was B and played retake on A.
Make mention of one of the scores I just saw. Allu yet to get a kill in the match.
Whoa, what the hell is that? It's on 0 kills.
Yeah.
Very surprising, actually.
And considering Get Right and he were the two that carried them in the last match, I mean, they haven't been able to get anything going for Allu.
Didn't even notice that. And what is this from NIP? They got the stack going on B, it would seem. Expecting a B play from Virtus.pro.
By the way, if he goes more than 0 and 15, Cajun B can take a sigh of relief, because that might be the new record.
Oh my god.
Although it's not in the finals, so might not have the same implications.
You know what? I feel like this is another reason why Virtus.pro wanted to play passively. They didn't want to give allu any easy AWP duels, because that's a risk that you don't actually have to take necessarily. But Virtus.pro, they're going to be cleaning out the equing players. byali's just getting some info now. He spotted 2 players. He killed 1 already. He's going to call the stack to his team. They're going to just file in from the A-long area, get the bomb planted. Rotation comes in from NIP. They really need to get some kills on the board here. At least 2 would be nice to effectively force out a couple of drops. But we are going to have a pretty simple affair so far. Virtus.pro, they just need to find 2 more players, and then they can close the book on this round. That'll put them on 13. That'll put them 3 away from victory.
I mean, it would just be just as quick in response. This was a little more expected. Inferno, I thought, would be close. This isn't really that surprising in some ways against NIP. Yes, I did expect them to get more rounds than they did. If they had gone to the A site, maybe, I mean, obviously it's an experience on this map. They haven't played it a lot. We highlighted that enough, but Virtus.pro are definitely looking composed. And that means the series, Hash, it's deadlock.
It definitely does expose NIP a little bit, and you got to question, hey, these guys, they need to strengthen their map pool. They need to strengthen their cobble and their overpass.
We're getting away from the fact that there still might be a sign of magic in the air.
That's very true. This is when niche magic can happen. Now we've got the FAMASs, we've got the SMGs from them, and in comes Virtus Pro, just barreling into the bomb site, looking for those fast entry kills. Gonna wait a little bit before planting the bomb to get these extra frags to make it really safe. Now Friberg goes down as well, and there's 3 players soon to be taken out as well. But it's a 3-on-4 now. NIP, they're making it work.
Friberg looks so hesitant coming out from that smoke. If he just walked out, TaZ would have been caught with the nade, but he second peeks it, second guesses himself, and
wow,
Nip still managed to clean it up. Look at allu on the backside.
He got 2 kills, man.
Man, I thought when Friberg went down, that was all but done. allu, well, if you're going to get 2, make them count. He certainly does. Now Nip's up to 5, and on the force buy, that pays off.
And allu's up to 2. He has no assists as well, which is interesting. Alright, so
he's just teasing Virtus Pro.
13-5 is the score now, as Virtus Pro have another buy to throw at NIP. They're not in the safety net just yet. They need to make sure that they can keep these rounds going, and 2 players on A long here for Virtus Pro, making sure they can slowly but surely take control towards the A site, removing NIP from all these nooks and crannies, and of course that's eventually going to allow them the situation where they force NIP all the way back onto the sites, and then they don't know, they don't have middle control, and so they don't know whether they're going A or B. This is like the simple theory from Virtus Pro at the moment.
This is a good boost, but has massive potential for failure as well. If Forrest doesn't get a kill here, if Long gets exposed, and they don't fall off correctly, they'll get caught on the crossfire. Instead, they just both go down on a direct pick from Neo. It doesn't even turn into that. allu was the 3rd man on the site. He was initially peeking Long for them so they could focus on the front side. Now he finds himself all by his lonesome, and Neo flashes through the smoke, does blind up allu, and he realizes he's got more than 1 to deal with. Neo 3 in the round is the one to pick him off.
Bomb has been planted.
And with the bomb down, Nipper just slowly grouping up down in the stairwell, and I think they're just going to hope that someone pushes forward and they can get a gun down.
So it's going to be pretty awkward now for NIP, isn't it? I mean, 14 rounds for Virtus Pro. They're still in the danger of actually just getting eliminated here as Virtus Pro hunt them down. And there's one for Neo, another one in fact for Neo. He's gone to 4K. They might try to get him the ace as he's been really springing into action. Those 2 picks were pretty phenomenal, to be honest, because it was a spot where at least NIP should get the trade, because it was a duel and then the second player peaked immediately, but Neo Virtus Pro was 2 on point.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about the aim last game. Didn't look like VP had much of it. Now they're definitely a little more on. Again, that boost is great. If you can find the initial pick, it's great. And I thought with allu as the 3rd man jumping over the truck on the backside, spotting Long, they would just not bother peeking there until they had to. That's not how I thought it would fail. I said it had massive opportunity for failure because as soon as you drop off of that boost, you're both so close that you have to find an escape plan. That means you have to either kill off 1 or 2 at Bathroom and fall that way, or get the 1 at Long and back out of the site. There's really no escape plan from it. Get Right, meanwhile, though, does push forward. Get TaZ. Meanwhile, Snax at Long catches out Forrest hiding behind the tree. And that's not much of a forest. It's just one single tree.
It's a bit of a shrubbery over there. Bit of foliage swaying in the breeze.
Needs a swing, and then it would just be paradise.
So this is really relaxing. I feel very relaxed right now. And everything's really calm as well. I heard some birds singing in the map. But it's time for Molotovs. It's time for the Flames. And Get Right has been playing well so far this tournament. We'll have to see if he can pick up the slack here, because we need...
There it is. From Tranquility to Tranquilizer, allu will shut down Neo front bathroom side.
And that's what we need from him. We need allu to start picking up kills right now. He needs to get his confidence going. But byali is in a dangerous position here for NIP. He's going to actually let his position be known with that grenade. And Get Right's in position to get the frag, but byali just says no. Doesn't matter if you know, I'm going to just take off your head anyway with the AK-47. And in his teammates go for the plant now. They got the grenades on the bomb site. allu's over by the truck by Optimus Prime. Here it is. Going to spray down Snax. Hold the line whilst his teammate is able to get onto the bomb site. And that was allu's first objective complete. Now he's got some help. Perhaps they can recover this bomb. But look at the spray there from pasha. Is going to miss, though, with it. And wow, they're kissing in the smoke. And it's going to be the frag for pasha. allu's in a horrible position. Gets the kill onto pasha, but time is running low as that bomb ticks ever faster. And byali just has to play this by the book. And he's doing just that, but allu still gets the kill regardless, but it won't matter. Virtus Pro go to map point.
4K from allu. Each round he's like adding more and more to his total. Like he went from 2, now he's got 4 in that round. Eventually he's just going to somehow manage to kill all 10, including himself. It was a late start from allu, but he's getting there.
Definitely, yeah. And the AWP is going to be insanely important on Cash, the next map. So he needs to definitely get the ball rolling. That is absolutely for sure. I mean, I think he could really just use some extra rounds here just to.
I mean, to be fair, his AWP didn't get out much at all.
Yeah, they didn't really use the AWP on the T side, and I think that's credit to Virtus Pro as well, just the setups they were playing.
This is another one of those boosts, though. Again, good position, as you can see to the right, to see through the window, spot them up if they come into the bathroom. You also get just the head to shoot at when they come out of the stairwell. But if you don't hit the first shot and you have to fall away from this, it's very easy to track you down before you can get into cover. So no first kill in this fails almost for NIP. And meanwhile, as we can see on the X-ray off to the right, they're creeping up long to an empty A site because they've fully invested with the only 2 players today are at that boost.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a really safe way for Virtus Pro to handle this round. Again, they know that the buy kind of sucks for NIP, so they're just taking the easy map control, like up A long. How are you going to deal with that if you've got pistols? So easy map control, setting up for the trades, Virtus Pro picking up the kills, and NIP can't even get any sneaky frags in. To be honest, there's not even much damage done to Snax and TaZ. 43 and 70 health on them. So the retake with pistols with 5.7s and armor, that's what they have to do to keep themselves in map number 2 here against Virtus Pro.
Asha catches off Xizt, running around in the backside. Neo on to get right. And Friberg actually at least gets a few guns down. That's important, but doesn't matter because it's all over. 16-5. And Virtus Pro. I love how when they go into the overlay, it always goes to 00 for Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro.
Well, they get map number 2. We're knotted back up, dead even. It's 1-1 maps, and we go to Cash, which is I expect to be more dead even in terms of gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Again, no surprise for me on Overpass right now. I don't think that Nip had got 10 rounds, I would have called that a successful game against VP right now. The way that they play Overpass right now is, if not the best, definitely one of, I'd say, the top 3, with maybe TSM in there as well, and probably Fnatic, I would say, would be the other one. Maybe Envy, but I haven't seen them on it in a while. Either way, it's super strong, and Nip don't play it enough, so Cash is going to be a whole different story.
Yeah, I mean, when allu joined the lineup, he actually provided a lot of awesome stability there for them. They suddenly got a lot better. There and Mirage, I think, were the 2 maps where they saw the best improvement, at least in my eyes, with allu. But again, you know, it's such an important AWP map. So allu, Forest, they've really got it on their game. But this is kind of shaping up a little bit like TSM Na'Vi did last night, where the first 2 maps were, my pick, I'm going to stomp you. Your pick will stomp, we'll get stomped or whatever. And then a really close third map. I feel like that's what we're going to see again here. So, well, any final thoughts there on that map?
No, not really. We can move on. I think I saw a few tweets. One person said I'm sad DDK kissed, or SADDKIST. That was clever, but I think Mounty DDK is where it was settled on.
Again, what was that?
It was, instead of Sadokist, it was Sad DDK.
No, what was the second one?
Oh, Mounty DDK. Mounty, like the police in Canada. So apparently it's been decided.
All right. Well, guys, remember we are giving away an AWP in the break, so look for the raffle information on the screen. You'll be seeing that. We're going to hit up a quick break. We'll be back with the next map and also the post-map analysis, so stay with us here on FACEIT TV. We'll see you in a moment.